Hello, everybody, and welcome to this exciting episode of the Joyful Money Podcast. This is episode number 101. It is officially December, so I feel like I can now start wishing people Merry Christmas. You see, the reason I love December so much is I have to say, it's the best month of the year for me. The reason is December is my birth month, so I'll be celebrating my birthday this month, which I'm so excited about. My mommy actually named me Joy because I was born 8 days before Christmas, 8 days before Jesus Christ was born. And Jesus Christ is the best bundle of joy the world has ever had. And so I am excited to celebrate Christmas and I'm excited to celebrate my birthday. So, Merry Christmas if you do celebrate Christmas. Now, in this episode, I want to give you exclusive access to listening to my conversation with Dr. J. Melissa. Now, Dr. J. Melissa is the founder and creator of the Live Your Life Doing What You Love podcast. She has a show on YouTube, which I'm going to link in the show notes. And the reason I want you to connect with Dr. J. Melissa is because she helps people land government contracts. In fact, in this episode, you'll listen, she talks about one of her clients that so far has landed over $7 million in government contracts in the US. So if this is something you are interested in, I want you to connect with Dr. J. Melissa. She has an amazing program where she breaks it down. And if you want to do government contracts, lucrative government contracts, connect with Dr. J. Melissa. I hope you are going to be blessed by our conversation. I cannot wait to receive all of your comments, all of your feedback, what you learn from this conversation, and how you would implement this into your business. Here we go. Here's my conversation with Dr. J. Melissa.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome again to another Live Your Best Life Doing What You Love. I'm Dr. Melissa J. Williams, and I'm super excited. So if you guys are new to the channel, welcome, welcome. As a reminder, this channel is about living your best life, doing what you love. And I truly believe that that's so important. I believe that we're all gifted with a talent. Some people have more than one. And I believe that you should live your life with your divine passion. And so what I do is I try to interview people that are doing just that, that are living their best life, doing what they love, and that's contributing to society. And so I am so excited. I'm so excited. Today I have Joy Rowland with us. Joy Rowland. I'm so excited. And she is amazing. She's going to be talking to us about what she does, how you guys can benefit and actually connect with her. Because, of course, you guys know that I believe that we're better together. I believe that it's not necessarily what you know, but who knows you. And I believe that we can all grow together. So I don't want to get to talking because I want to talk to Joy. I want to talk to Joy. Hey, Joy. Hey.
Hi, Dr. Melissa. Thank you so much for having me. I feel like we're kindred spirits because
Yes.
all of what you just said is what I teach in my program. Like, I have a specific course in my program called collaboration. And so I love this so much. And I
Yeah.
cannot wait to share my story and what I do and hopefully inspire somebody to take action.
I love it. I love it. Well, welcome, welcome. So, we got a lot to talk about in a short time. So, let's get to it. So, if you would just tell me and my audience about who you are and how you got started and when you discovered what your passion was.
Awesome. Great questions. Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. My name is Joy Rowland. I am a money and business coach for service based entrepreneurs. So I work with people online and I help people attract more money in a sentence. So that's what I do. Yeah, money, money, money. And so to your question, Dr. Melissa, how did I end up doing what I'm doing now? I'd say it's been a journey, like most people. Like I have had to try different things. Things didn't work. And then until I landed to where I am now. So I've had at least 10 offers before I found my way. And I say that to encourage people because many times we are stuck trying to decide what our niche is. And if you're a person of faith like I am, you'd work with God and then only take the first step. That's what God wants us to do, right? So don't wait until you see the entire staircase. Just take one step. And that's how my journey has been. And I'm so grateful I took all of those steps because when I look back, I am just in awe of how far God has brought me. And it was because I kept taking those steps. So
I
that's how
love
I
it.
got to where I am today.
I love it. I love it. So what exactly, so you talked about you've got a program, all right? Talk to me about how long you've had the program and what it is that you teach entrepreneurs, right? Is it entrepreneurs that you teach?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Tell me about that.
So my program is called Joyful Money. So I also have a podcast. My
Joy
podcast is also Joyful Money.
joy for money. I love it. I love it. I'm taking
No,
notes, so
joyful. Joyful. So
joyful.
JOYFUL,
Got it.
Joyful Money.
Okay.
And essentially, I teach people how to joyfully make money because traditionally we associate making money with high levels of stress
Mhm,
and white knuckling and like just grinding and hustling, right?
mhm.
So my program like just turns that on the back of its head because I believe that when you are joyful,
Yes.
you actually attract more money.
Yes.
People don't know this. Joy attracts more money. Joy attracts confidence. Joy, I want
Yes.
to say sexy. Joy is
Yes.
sexy. When you see people who are joyful, people are attracted to them. So I teach people the joyful method of making money. And one of the things I teach is money mindset because many of us have money stories that are keeping us stuck. And so I focus on that in my program. Also, I teach confidence, visibility, using your voice. Your voice is your
Yes.
power. So that's one of
Yes.
the things I teach in my program. And I encourage people to become more visible, do collaborations with other business people because, like you said in the intro, we are better together when we grow together. So that's my program in a nutshell.
I love that. I love that. It's so amazing because, I've been in business and I get scared for 32 years, 33 years in January. And I've worked with so many entrepreneurs, over the years. And I'm actually a SCORE mentor as well. So I speak to entrepreneurs that's like all over the US. And what I find is that many of them they face various challenges that could be solved with something like your program to understand first and foremost, because of course I call them the old belief gremlins, right? A lot of people, like you said, they have this baggage where they bring it into, of course, their entrepreneurship. Money is bad. People that make money is not, they're not good people. And that, like you said, they have to grind to make the money. I agree. Yes, that being an entrepreneur, it does take a lot of hard work, but if you truly find your passion, what you love, because I actually love teaching and I could teach forever. You know what I'm saying? I could talk forever and not get paid and be happy. So I understand that joyful money because that's what I do every day. And I can see how, because I'm living in my divine purpose, money just flows to me. So talk to
Yes.
me about how you're able to transition because it's mindset. It's truly mindset. How you're able to reverse that mindset, that old thinking, and get people to turn around and understand. I always tell my students it's easier to make a lot of money than it is to make a little money. And they don't believe that, but it is. It is. So talk to me about how you go about shifting the mindset into understanding that making money is joyful.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing that, Dr. Melissa. And thank you for the question. It has to do with reprogramming the mind. So your mind has to go through, I want to say brain surgery, but that might
Yeah.
be too extreme, but let's use
Mhm,
reprogramming.
mhm,
Well, why do we need to reprogram our minds? Well, we've been conditioned in a certain way
mhm,
through our upbringing, our parents, our caregivers, what we saw in society.
mhm.
That has shaped our self concept and also our money concept. And so there are a series of thoughts that have created the results that people have right now. So whether you have $10 in your bank account or you make 500K per year, your result right now is as a result of the thoughts you've thought over and over again. I know this might be very difficult for people to understand, especially for people who haven't done mindset work before.
Mhm.
But the baseline is that thoughts become things.
Yes.
So the thoughts you think over and over and over again become your reality. But there's a challenge. Scientists have said an average human being has about 60,000 thoughts per day. So changing your thoughts takes some intentional work because if you have 60,000 thoughts per day, how
Mhm.
do you catch those thoughts? Those thoughts happen very quickly. So if you want to change your money story and you want to be wealthy and abundant, you have to develop the meta skill of catching your thoughts because you
Mm,
only change thoughts if you identify the thoughts that are creating your current results. So that's the first step. And my coach, my teacher says to do thought work, which is every morning when you wake up, you do a thought download and you almost empty out your brain to see on paper what you're actually thinking. So once you do that thought download, you then have to reverse engineer your thoughts. Okay, so the model is called CTFAR. Circumstance is C, thoughts, the T, F, the feeling, A is the action, and R is the result. And what that model says is your thoughts create your feelings drive your actions, and your actions ultimately determine your results. So if you identify your thoughts, then you can go through the model and say, when I think this specific thought, what feeling does it create in my body? And when you identify the feeling it creates, then from that feeling, you take action. So I'm going to give a typical example. If you have the thought, I am terrible with money, I am terrible with money. When you think that thought, I am terrible with money, how do you feel in your body? Well, you are going to feel dejected. You're going to feel disempowered.
mhm,
When you feel dejected and disempowered, what actions do you take?
mhm.
Most times, maybe you grab some chocolate, go upstairs and watch Netflix, right?
Yeah, yeah.
When you grab chocolate, go upstairs and watch Netflix,
Right,
what results do you create?
right,
You
right,
create no money.
right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. So let's change that thought. Instead of thinking, I am terrible with money, what if you think, I have skills and I can use my skills to create wealth? If you think the thought, I have skills and I can use my skills to create wealth, how do you feel in your body? Well, you feel empowered. When you
Mhm,
feel empowered, what actions do you take? You jump on your computer and you take actions in your business. When you
mhm,
jump on your computer and you take actions in your business, what results do you create? You create wealth. So the
mhm.
baseline is reprogramming your thoughts to align with the results you want to create. So that's the first step I go through with all of my clients, catching your thoughts and deliberately. And this is the good news. Your thoughts are optional. People
Mhm.
don't know this. You get to choose what thoughts you think. So when you know how powerful you are, you take back your power and you see how powerful God has designed you to be. In fact, in the Bible, it says, Ye are gods.
Mm.
You have the power of creation in your hands, and that creation happens from your thoughts. So I know that's a very long winded answer. I just wanted people to have a very clear concept on what I mean by reprogramming your mind.
Yeah, I love that. And it speaks volumes because when I meet with my students, right, and they say, oh, I want to engage in government contracting, what I find is that they have so many thoughts rolling
Mm,
around in their head. Oh my God, I can't do it. Oh, it's for big businesses. I tried it before, it didn't work. And when we go through our program, we do exactly what you're speaking of, and that is I have to let people know that if one person can do it, you can do it too. And what I
mm,
find is that throughout the entire program, I am helping them to reprogram themselves, right? Because, I have to let them understand if you can see the end, right? If
mm,
you can see the end, you won't get messed up in the middle. If you believe that you will
mm.
win a 500, $1 million contract, hey, the sky's the limit. You're going to do exactly what you said. You're going to, what is the C? So the circumstance, first and foremost, almost the circumstance doesn't matter most of the time, right?
Exactly.
It doesn't
Yes.
matter. The circumstance doesn't matter. So your thoughts about this government contracting, you've got to reprogram your mind to understand that if one person can do it, you can do it. And you said your
Mm,
feelings. If you're able to feel how it's going to
mm.
feel when you win a half a million, let's even go
Oh,
$500,000, $1 million contract. If you can think about
mm.
how that's going to feel, then you're what? You're going to do the work. Because I always tell
Yes.
my students that there's I used to play basketball. You can't make the shot you didn't take. You can't win the bid that you don't submit. So when you get that feeling that, hey, I can do this. Oh my God, there's a contract with my name on it. Then what you're going to do is you're going to get on your computer, you're going to do the work. You're going to submit the bids. And
Mm,
ultimately, if you do the work, you're right. You're
mm.
going to get results every time. I always say, and I love it. I'm going to have to bring you back. I'm going to have to add you to my program because this is amazing because it's what we need. I think that the miseducation of America, right? Or the world, we were taught to think the wrong way. Success is a system. Government
Yeah.
contracting is a system. And that's what you're teaching. You're teaching people how to be successful. And I love it. You got to dump all that crazy stuff that is in your head. And I love the fact that you say you get up every morning and you actually do a brain dump. I love that. I love that. So that
Oh
is
my gosh. So Melissa, I love what you just said as you talked. You talked about when someone has done it before, then that's proof that you can do it. I like that so much because many
yes,
times
yes,
our brains likes to go to the evidence bank, right? If you want to attempt to do something, your brain is going to say, well, where's the evidence?
yes.
And that's why many people shut down because
Mhm.
they look into their past for evidence.
Yes,
But evidence is not in your past. The evidence is in your future. How
yes,
do I know? Because everything that has ever been created in life, people had to go through the future. For example, the Wright brothers. The aeroplane never existed. So if they had asked your brain, oh, go to the past to get me evidence, how would we have the airplane? They
yes,
had to go into the future for evidence that it's possible for humans to fly in the sky.
yes,
So when you ask your brain to give you evidence from the past, you wouldn't be able to find the evidence because guess what? You've never made $1 million per year. So
right,
why would you go to the past to look for evidence? You go to the future. How do you go into the future? You go to the future you because the
yes,
future you has already achieved the $1 million per year, right?
yes.
So I just love what you said. I'm like, wow, that is profound. People seek evidence in the past when we should actually be seeking evidence in our future.
Right. And I concur because what I see is that my entrepreneurs, they have two identities, right? They have two
Mm,
identities. They have who they are and where they
mm.
want to be. And I always talk about the bridge, right? The belief bridge, right? So you're here, but you're trying to get here, you know? And so if you are, you've got to change who you are in order to get you there. The saying is what got you here is not going to get you there. And that, I think a lot of programs they do talk about courses, programs, webinars, they talk about mindset. But mindset is the core to all of it. It is the core that unlocks all of the riches and all of the things that God promised us, right? It's
Yes,
how we think. Even if and I may get it wrong, it says, if you just have the belief of a mustard seed.
mustard seed.
So
Yes,
to me,
yeah,
the scriptures tells us where we have to start with this thing. It is
mm.
the mind. It is the mind. And so I actually I love it. So tell me a little bit more about the results that you've seen with your students as they're able to what reprogram their thinking because it's here.
Yes. And here's the thing: the results happen very quickly, as long as you truly believe the thought, right? So if I start practicing the thought, for example, if I want to make $1 million per day, right? For example, if I tell myself I'm going to make $1 million per day, if I say the word, if I have the thought, but I don't believe it, it's not going to come to pass.
Yes.
Yes. So, and then people say, well, how do I believe it when it hasn't happened before? Like one of my teachers would say, she says, go for the Oscar.
Mm.
You
Yes.
go for the Oscar. And what that means is you act as though you are that person right now. So, for example, if I want to make $1 million per month, then I'm going to ask myself, Joy Rowland in August 2025, which is next year, she's already earning $1 million per month.
Hmm.
So I am going to ask and say, okay, what does the Joy Rowland who earns $1 million per month, what does she do? What time does she wake up in the morning?
Yes.
What does she eat? Who does she talk to? What kind of business does she do? What kind of how does she talk to people? All of that has to be so programmed in my mind,
Hmm.
and I have to start acting like that person now. Like that
Yes.
is the secret to getting the results very quickly. And that's why I know that the results can come very quickly as long as you truly believe that thought and you begin to act like your future self.
I
The
love it.
results come very quickly.
I love it. So there's two identities again, like you're saying, your the current identity and that future self. I love it. I love it. And I think that's where people struggle
Mm,
is the belief. They don't
yeah.
have the belief that they can be successful. And again, success is a system. So if one person can do it, you can do it as well. But there is also a blueprint, right?
Mm,
And I tell people, what does successful people do? And I love Kobe Bryant, right? Kobe Bryant used to make 1,000 shots every day, 1,000 shots every day. And what he said is that all you have to do is just outdo the other person. Just do a little bit more than the other person is going to do. And so he
mm,
they say he mastered the art of basketball, right? Because he was a child and he said, I want to be this person. And as you
mm.
stated, he did the actions of what a
Yes.
successful, I guess, NBA player would do. He could make, a jump shot. He could make free throws. You know what I'm saying? He could get back on defense. And that's what I find is that if people can just understand that the old beliefs that we have to change them and it has to be deliberate. And I understand, you understand that it's not going to be something that you wake up and you do. You have to keep practicing on the thoughts that come in your head every day. But you have to know that if you continue to practice, if you continue to, as you said earlier, just take the steps, you will get there. My dad, he used to tell me, he says, all you got to do is just keep moving. He was an
Mm,
army artillery soldier. All you got to do is keep moving. And what I find, and you can speak to this, is that a lot of people, they start doing the work and they want immediate results. Sometimes it can come, like you said, sometimes it can come, right? If you find that right student or that right entrepreneur that says, okay, whatever Joy tells me to do, I'm gonna do it, right?
yeah.
But oftentimes, just speaking for myself, I don't find folks that if I tell them to do it, I've got one rock star, her name is Dr. Bindu. Anything that I tell Dr. Bindu to do, she does it, and she's won millions and millions and millions. She's probably at maybe $7 million in government contracts. But she's that one like unicorn that if I tell her to go right, she's going right. Some people, they they will go right eventually, but they have to think about it and figure out when they should do it. But I was going somewhere with that. But as you said, if you take the steps, a lot of people, they believe that they have to have all of the answers at
Mm.
the beginning, and you don't. And you don't.
No, no. I love what you said about Kobe Bryant. And as you were talking about him, the phrase or the word that came to my mind was persistence, right?
Yes.
He was persistent.
Persistent.
Many people give up at the first hurdle.
Yes.
Many people are driving to the grocery store and then they get to the first traffic light. It says red and then they turn back,
Back.
right?
Yes.
So you have to be persistent and you have to be all in, right?
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
have to be all in. I hate this phrase. I'm going to give it a go.
Mm,
I hate the phrase.
right.
You are either in
In
or
or you're out. Right.
yes, there is no middle ground. Like you either want success or you don't.
Hmm.
And The reason why this is so important is because you have to then define why you want success. Why do you want success? Is it just for the millions of dollars sitting in your bank account? Define why you want
Mhm,
success.
mhm.
And I think that we live in a society now where people are no longer hungry for success.
Mhm,
You
mhm.
know, when you think back, Les Brown is one of my teachers, and I think
Yes,
back at his life, look at how hungry he
yes,
was for
was.
success. Do you see people with that hunger as much? No,
No,
like people are just resigned to a life of mediocrity. So people need to define what success means for them, and they need to define whether they are all in or not. When you are all in,
right.
then you're ready to put in work. There is no plan B,
Yes,
right? When you burn the bridges, there is no going back. So
yes.
you need to define your why. And ultimately, money doesn't bring happiness, right?
No.
So if you're thinking, when I make millions and millions of dollars, then I'm going to be happy, that might not be a reason to want to succeed. So define your why, make sure your why is compelling. The reason I say this is because when I first started, my why was not to be poor. I come from a very poor home. I was born in sub-Saharan Africa.
Mhm.
I left home at age 25, emigrated myself, started learning to speak English at age 25.
Oh,
And so
wow.
that was my drive. I just wanted to be able to feed my mom and dad. So it was the fear of poverty that was driving me. And at that time, there was a lot of white knuckling, right?
Mhm.
But now I see a bigger vision. I see a bigger vision of making a global impact, of leaving a legacy for my family. And so that drives me to keep going. Like it's not just a nice car, a bigger house. That's not what's driving me. So
Mhm.
then I now have a bigger vision. So people have to find that bigger vision for themselves because that is what will keep you going.
I love that. I love that. And I want you to come back and tell your story because that's amazing. Because you're absolutely correct. It's hard to talk to individuals when they have a plan B and C. And a lot of my entrepreneurs, they have a plan B and C. Well, if it don't work, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna go back and get a job. If it don't work, I'm just gonna drive Amazon or Uber or Lyft, right? And so when your back is against the wall and you don't have any other choice, and like you said, if your why is strong enough, and I know a lot of people are talking about generational wealth, right? They're talking about, oh, I want to create generational wealth. And when I talk to my students, I say, you know what? Are you willing to do what it takes in order to create generational wealth? Right. And
Hmm.
that tends to be that one little thing because they have that plan B and that plan C. If it don't work, I can do this. But if you're all
Hmm.
in anything, anything you want, live your best life doing what you love, you can have it all. Joyful money. Joyful money, joy. I love it. I love it. So this is wonderful. Before we end, I know you stated that you attempted to try several offers. When did you decide and know that this was your purpose? Teaching people how to reprogram themselves. When did you decide and know that this is it? Because this is truly what you're teaching, your program, it's so needed. It's so needed because people just need to know. They need to know and believe that whatever it is that they want, they can have it. They just have to get rid of the old gremlins, right? Those old gremlin beliefs that they have that's kept them stuck and not moving forward. But when did you decide? Because I'll keep talking and keep talking. I love talking.
I love it. I love it. So I knew when I woke up in the morning and I was excited to leave my bed. That was it for me.
Yeah.
Like I woke up every morning I wake up. I'm so excited to come, do my work and have an impact. And I think
Yes.
that's the litmus test.
Yes.
So anybody listening right now, if you're struggling to define what your purpose is, when you wake up tomorrow morning, just gauge yourself. Are you excited to leave the bed to go to your work and to do what you do? Maybe your 9 to 5, or if you have a business. So if you're not excited to leave the bed to go to work, then that's a sign for you to maybe change course.
I love it. I love it. Oh,
And
this
just to
is
give you an example, just
yes.
before I became a joyful money coach for entrepreneurs, I trained with Dave Ramsey. So I was working with families who were struggling with debt.
Mhm.
But that was so heavy on my heart because I was seeing people who were struggling with paying their mortgages, paying rent. And like as coaches, right, we tend to carry the stress of our clients, you know? So that was very heavy on my heart. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't like this line of work. I want to work with people who have higher goals, higher ambitions, and for people to see that they can create a huge amount of wealth and abundance for themselves. And so that was when I decided, okay, I'm going to work with entrepreneurs. I'm going to help them build massively successful businesses. And when I made the shift, like every morning I wake up, I'm saying, let's go.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I mean, I'm always excited. People be like, is she always excited? I am, because I am like you, living my best life, doing what I love. And so, Joy, tell people how they can find you, how they can find you, how they can join your course.
Well, thank you very much again, Dr. Melissa. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram. I'm going to give the links to Dr. Melissa so she can add it to the show notes. You can also find me on the Joyful Money podcast. That's a very free resource you can use, but I'm quite selective of the people I work with. But if you're in my network, I have a freebie as well. And when I'm open for new clients, I'll let you know, and then we can see if it's a good fit.
I love it. Joy, this was amazing. I'm excited. I'm
Thank you.
excited for everyone that's listening today, because you want to connect with Joy. You want to connect with Joy. I already know you do. Why? Because I talk to entrepreneurs every day that are struggling. They're struggling. And the
Mm,
reason they're struggling is because of this. It's not because
yeah.
you don't have the skills that you need in order to be successful. It's because of this. And or you've not taken the time to think about what it is that give you joy, right? Like joy, no pun intended. What it is that gives you joy, like what makes your blood boil when you wake up in the morning. And so you need to get in contact with Joy. And of course, she said, so you guys out there that's not serious, she don't work with everyone. She works with people that are serious, that want to be successful, and that understands that making money can be joyful. All right, guys. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Joy. Girl, I'm gonna come
Thank you.
see you. You need to come to Atlanta so that we can do a live event together. Because of course, I'm really excited. I'm gonna invite you to speak to my students, and we'll get back together really soon. But thank you, guys. Live your best life doing what you love, guys. You only have one. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
God bless. Stay happy, happy, happy. God bless. See you guys next time. Bye. Thanks, Joy.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for spending time with me today. If you have enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to subscribe so you never miss an update. Let's continue this journey of growth and success together. Don't forget to connect with me on social media for more tips and inspiration. And remember, your ambitions are valid, your potential is limitless, and you deserve a business that brings you both joy and fulfillment. Until next time, keep taking action, be joyful, and you will create success beyond your wildest dreams. Sending you lots of love, peace, joy, and light. Bye for now.